Hey everyone, it's Holly and welcome to my Unread books. So I'm standing in front of my TBR shelf. So my hair keeps doing something weird. So I'm standing in front of my TBR shelf, so I'm just going to take the books off and show you what I have. I think I mentioned in a video that technically I have more TBR books than this, but I have some that I'm putting in like storage and then others that are like historical. Those are actually like behind the camera. I'm not going to show those. I have a few different books about Russian history that I do want to read eventually. So first I'll do the two that I'm currently reading. So In Shadowed by Kelly Cray. Been reading this for a while because I'll put it down. And then Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, which the bookshelf that's behind the camera, I do keep some books there. Actually, I should move them over here. I have room now. These are like my classics and my nonfiction books. So I have this Barnes & Noble like special edition thingy. I don't know if it's special edition, but whatever. Of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass that I bought like back in January. So it's pink and pretty. And it is like illustrated and stuff. And then I have this book, which is called The Law of the Garbage Truck. I guess this would be like considered a self-helpy book. And then I have Creating Magic by Lee Cockrell. This is like a leadership sort of self-helpy book from a guy that worked at Disney, and my dad gave this to me. And then the last one is The Joy of Hate by Greg Gutfeld. I like Greg Gutfeld and I find him funny, so yeah. So there actually used to be like sort of logic to my shelf. For the most part on the top shelf I keep hardcovers because they're less likely to fall off. And then this shelf is my 15 books to read in 2015 and Blood of the Fold, but then it just kind of becomes random. It used to be separated between like YA, romance, and adult, but whatever. So these are the books on the top shelf. I have The Disenchantments by Nina LaCour, something like Fate by Suzanne Colasanti, I don't know how to say it, Tokyo Heist by, do you have a first name? Diana Wren. And then I have my Sarah J. Maas books. So I have The Assassin's Blade, which technically I am currently reading. I'm reading one novella a month. And Air of Fire by her. And then I have Deception by C.J. Redwine. This is the second book in the Defiance series. Phoenix by Elizabeth Richards. This is the second book in the Black City series, I think. And then Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson. This is the second book in the Shades of London series. The first one is actually on my 15 to read in 2015 shelf. And then I have Team Human by Sarah Reese Brennan and Justine Larbalestier. So like I said, this shelf is my 15 books to read in 2015, and this is also where I keep my bookmarks. So I'm just going to move those up here. So first I have Blood of the Fold by Terry Goodkind. I just leave that right there. And then I have Bitten by Kelly Armstrong and The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Technically, I have started this, so I have a post-it note in here, but who am I kidding? When I pick this up, I'm gonna just have to start from the beginning. And then there's The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister by Gregory Maguire, Cress by Marissa Meyer. I keep putting this book off, that's why it's on the stupid shelf. And The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. Oh, lies. I actually have these pulled away because they were part of my Read-A-Rama TBR. I didn't read them, but I do plan on reading them. The Bermuda's Triangle by Maureen Johnson is also supposed to be on that shelf. And then I have The Spy Princess by Sherwood Smith. And this is normally on the top shelf. So first I have Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. Oh, and this bookshelf, I actually built this with my dad. So it has supports, which means I have to be like strategic in my book shelving because I prefer them to be like in height order. But little ones like this have to like slide in here because the taller ones don't fit there. And then I have Unspoken by Sarah Reese Brennan. Then there's The Remedy by Suzanne Young. This is like a prequel, and it's the first book in I think a duology, so it's going to be like a prequel duology to the program series. Shopaholic to the Stars by Sophie Kinsella. This is the latest Shopaholic book. It came out last year. Next is The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Maureen Johnson, and Sarah Reese Brennan. And actually this I plan on reading the same way I'm reading The Assassin's Blade, where I'll read like one novella a month. Then I have this book. It's The Glamorous Double Life of Isabel Bookbinder by Holly McQueen. And my sister actually got this for me like years ago. And she got it because she thought it sounded kind of like, it's a chick lit book, and she figured I'd like it because I like the Shopaholic series. And I've never read it. I mean, I fully intend to all the time, and then I just never do it. Then there's Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo, Just for Now and While It Lasts by Abby Glines, which I believe are the third and fourth books in the Seabury series. Nobody's Princess by Esther Friesner. This is like sort of a retelling of Helen of Sparta. And then I have Good in Bed by Jennifer Weiner, I don't know, this wonderfully water damaged book that I got at a library book sale. 5 Things I Can't Live Without by Holly Schumas, because God hit himself in the face. I think this is like a chick lit book. The Last Little Blue Envelope by Maureen Johnson. I keep putting this one off because I feel like I need to reread the first one and I don't own it, so I just need to like either buy it or get it from the library and suck it up and go for it. And the last book on that shelf is actually Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. So then there's just one more shelf, and it's actually this is like all my romance and mass market paperbacks. So first, the non-romancy one is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. So first I have Glitter Baby by Susan Elizabeth Phillips. Then there's Then there's Lakeshore Christmas by Susan Wiggs. Until There Was You by Kristen Higgins. And so those are all of the contemporary ones. And then there's the paranormal ones. So I have Haunted by Your Touch. This is actually like a novella bind-up with novellas by Janine Frost, Shayla Black, and Sherry Kohler. I actually only know who Janine Frost is, and that's why I bought it. And then I have Sexiest Vampire Alive by Carolyn Sparks. This is part of her Love It Steak series, and I bought this and I read like half of it and I was just like not enjoying it and put it down. Also the cover is like especially bad. Like it looks like horribly photoshopped. Not that they have like particularly good covers to begin with, but this one is really bad. Paranormal is I don't know, by Cresley Cole. This is one of her Immortals After Dark series, which is definitely a paranormal series I really like and highly recommend. And then there's my historicals. So the first one I have is A Secret in Her Kiss by Anna Randall. I actually got this for free from Avon a few years ago. I like entered something for them and I got this and another book from them. Then Lord of the Night by Susan Wiggs. So I own 2 Susan Wiggs books, but I've never read any of her things. This is another one I just picked up at a library book sale. And then I have If You Give a Girl a Viscount by Karen Kramer. Actually, this is another one I read a pretty substantial amount of and wasn't enjoying it, so I put it down. I don't remember it all, so I would have to start over. And then I have 2 Karen Hawkins books. So I have One Night in Scotland and How to Entice an Enchantress. That is my TBR shelf and my unread books. If there's any that you think I should read sooner rather than later, or any that you want reviews on, feel free to let me know, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!